do you make decisions? How do you choose between option A and option B when, for instance, deciding on the best way to overcome criticism? Or where do you base your choices on? Is it the values that you have learned from your parents, or is it or based on the messages that we hear very often in TikTok, or what Fox News or CNN tell us, about things? How do you go about deciding things which things to believe and which things to simply just let go? All right. So, what are your guiding principles? Right now, whatever your answer is, that is what we call your philosophy in life. Because for the past two episodes, we have been talking about, philosophy and its relevance to our modern life, really, and it is not just we've decided and we have discussed that it is not just an ancient book. It's not about ancient old men giving us words, and we found out that even those words are very relevant today. So we will continue where we left off. And welcome to episode 104. Can you imagine? 104. And we have decided, and I said we, it's you and me. I gave you, my idea, so together we will try and dig deeper into the importance of philosophy in present life. It's not just words, that we hear or we read from ancient texts, or is it a subject in school? But it is really how we live our life, not just how we think. It is asking the big questions in life. And in the last episode, we dissected the traits of someone who we can consider to be a philosopher. It's not somebody who has a degree in philosophy, but anyone who embodies these traits. And let me repeat. No, number one is the most important: the curiosity about truth and about meaning, curiosity about life in general. It is the courage to think independently, and the willingness to question assumptions and even personal feelings. Okay? And so anybody can, I remember my mom. And I will tell you what I remember about her, and why I consider her, a philosopher. It's really funny because when I was reading some of the, some books, I always remember what my mom said to me, what my dad, said to us when when we were growing up. Okay, as promised in this episode, excuse me, let's learn from some of these ancient philosophers and some, from modern philosophers, which are more famous than others. Again, now first, do you know what Stoicism means? The Stoics, All right, so I ask Google. This time Google, because I want the shortcut, not the chat GPT. Okay, Stoicism is an ancient Greek philosophy, right? Focused on virtue, reason, and living in accordance with nature, it says. It emphasizes focusing on what is within one's control, thoughts and actions, and accepting what is not within one's control, meaning external events. All right. The goal is to cultivate inner resilience, wisdom, and a life of virtue, leading to a sense of tranquility, which means quietness, okay, stillness, and a flourishing life. You see, it emphasizes focusing on what is within one's control, which are our thoughts and actions, and accepting what is not external events. Okay? The goal is to cultivate what? Inner resilience, the ability to bounce back, after bad events happening to our lives. Wisdom, knowing how to live our lives, more effectively in a life of virtue. What is good? Okay, what is innately good? What is innately wrong? Okay, the difference, knowing the difference between the two, leading to a sense of tranquility, which means, quietude. It means stillness and a flourishing life. What's a flourishing life? The good life that we have been talking about. The ability to remain calm. Under pressure. We call that grace. We call that poise. So, which means whatever is being taught now, like you have no control over what's happening outside. If you read a book entitled "The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People," that's how the author Stephen Covey mentions being proactive. Proactive is the ability to make choices, okay, between the things we can control and the things we cannot control. So he just said, he wrote his book, I think, 10 years ago. But that's exactly what part of Stoicism, isn't it? Talking about relevance. Talking about relevance. Okay. Now, one of the Stoics, philosopher is a man named Marcus Aurelius. Okay, if you read the book written by Ryan Holiday, something about lessons from Stoicism, he quotes a lot from Marcus Aurelius. Okay, and I would give you one, and let's talk about that. Okay, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Okay? You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Okay. How relevant is that to our life right now? Okay? Can we influence the laws passed by our country's Congress? Yes, maybe we can write letters to our representatives and tell them, what we think, and tell them that we voted you in power to take care of our needs and not the needs of, a small group of powerful people. Maybe we can do that. Of course, we have that freedom, to do. Now, whatever happens after that and it becomes into law, then what do we do? Okay, so we have to align our thoughts, our feelings, and live life according to our own terms without violating the law, isn't it? Okay, that is what Marcus Aurelius, mentioned. No, that is one of his philosophical quotes. I told you about my mom, isn't it? Okay. When we were very young, my sister and I, when we were growing up, and we used to have a neighbor, and her kids are really bullies, and they would always, criticize us. They would say bad things about us, and we would tell our mom, okay, about it, and this is what she said. Okay, she didn't know about Stoicism. She definitely haven't read, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Of course, she is dead now. She lived a beautiful life. You know what she told us? Mga anak. Okay, that in English that means my 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 children, my kids. Okay, anak is my child. All right, let them. Okay, not let them bully you. Okay, because what we wanted, because what we wanted is to seek revenge. What we wanted is to hit them, and we wanted to also, if they criticize us, if they put us down, we will get back and put them down too. That's what we wanted. And she sat us down and said, okay, my children, okay, if someone, does this to you, it's not because of you, it's because of them. They feel so low, okay, about themselves, so they want to also pull you down. So if you react the same way, okay, by doing what they have done to you, you have actually allowed them to win twice. The first one is, to hurt you enough for you to react in a negative way. And second, they have actually pulled you down. The way to do that, my dear children, is this. Okay, let them do that and live, a very, very positive life. Do not take revenge. Okay, success is the best revenge. Let them. Okay, because they do that because they look up to you. If they cannot reach your position, they will actually pull you down. Don't allow them that. Okay, live with integrity and continue. Don't let their bad words, their negative words affect you. Still continue to be the intelligent, nice, respectful, daughters that I have. Okay, so isn't that what Stoicism is talking about? Isn't that, a philosophy from Marcus Aurelius? That's the reason why that makes my mom a philosopher, really. Okay? We will take some more of this in the next episode. But for now, don't forget to like and subscribe so that together we will learn a lot more things about what ancient philosophy says and how we can actually profit from it, because it is just really as relevant today as it was way back then. Okay, until then, this is Miss Manu Cervantes saying adieu.